What is up, Ham Radio? Kilo Echo 8 Papa Zulu November, the Ham Radio Adventure Guy. Thanks for stopping by. Your one stop for everything Adventure Radio. It is Hump Day. That means it's time for the Hump Day Happy Hour. Great. We got a bunch of new people that subscribed in the last week, so hopefully some of you guys are making your way to the chat. And we're going to start off by saying thanks to all our Patreons. You guys rock. You guys keep me going with gas and everything like that. So you get a thumbs up from the Ham Radio Adventure Guy every time. And also, we're going to do the June version, this week's version of the adventure program, Big Switch in the Change. Toby moved to the top spot. Bruce with the off-stream donation this week as well. He's still sitting in, he was in first. He's sitting in second. Harold Skinner hit the tip jar. He's not on the list, but thanks very much for hitting the tip jar. We appreciate you guys very much. And thanks for everything you do. Hayden's popping in and out in the back screen there. He's having issues, but he will definitely be hanging out with us. Gotta have my technician. We got a couple of good guests tonight as well. So chat's filling up, and good to see. But let's go ahead and get this thing started, and let's start bringing some people out here. What's going on, everybody?
Hey.
Everybody's scared to talk. Wow, I brought a good crew in here tonight. All right, we got my technician up there next to me right here. Wow, I did that right. I'm impressed. And then down here in this corner, we got the Canadian Wonder. He's fresh off his big 12 park kilo. Is that right?
14 parks.
14 park kilo. And then down there we got the pee man, doing that dirty stuff on the radio like he does. So what's going on, guys?
Oh, everything's good. Everything's good.
Good deal.
Did you get all your kilos, James?
I did.
Awesome.
And the Leopard Rove Radar Award.
Awesome.
Nice. So how many people got you at every park? I know one that's in the chat, but how many people actually got you? One person. That's it.
Yep.
Congratulations, Miss Toby, for being the only one to get him at every park.
I was preoccupied with a glass and a bottle, more than not.
That's all right.
I wasn't in my QTH. I was far away.
I was preoccupied with what I do.
I think I got you three times.
I'd have to check.
I was right here.
Hayden was up there. Hayden and Larry VE3LBI were both up there for more than half, I think.
I got six or seven, and then some thunderstorms rolled through. I had to pull the antenna down.
Yeah.
Go ahead, James.
I think I only got like 4 or 5, but I was in between parks, so a lot of times I'd see he was spotted, and I was like, I'm driving, and then like I just can't do it.
and most of them were, I think the fastest one was 7 minutes from first contact to last contact, and the longest one was 35 or 38 minutes. So,
yeah, I know. I got to a park and I got you for one, and then I went and started activating, and before I was done, another one popped up, and I hurried up and to finish the park, and then came over and got you. For the second one at the same park. So
it was good. We use mostly hamstick, so we weren't expecting the reach we normally get with our 128-foot end feds. So we did pretty good with the hamstick on my truck.
What do you do with a 128-foot end fed? How do you throw it in a tree? You put a pole in the middle of the inverted V? What do you do?
Everywhere here we have trees. We have lots of trees. So yeah, we just use a throw weight and put a line up. And
how high do you try to get the one end?
We typically do an inverted L, so we'll have the feed point 4, 5, 6 feet off the ground, and then we'll go 30, 40, 50 feet straight up, and then we'll just take whatever's left over wherever we can go. Sometimes we have to dog leg it around a tree, or sometimes we can go straight. But yeah, we have so many trees. The problem is getting it through the trees in the middle to get a tree at the right distance to tie off
Right.
to.
Right. Right.
So Tom throws that up there 50 feet, right? I know you're not doing it, right?
I can throw it up there.
You use a little one of those arbor weights.
No, it's actually a chunk of cold rolled steel.
That usually does it. It's just
Yeah.
coming down when you miss. You got to really get out of the way.
You want to definitely miss very well. We're careful where we park. We're careful where we throw. Yeah. But it doesn't get it does occasionally get stuck, especially in the spring with all the new buds. They're really the new buds and the new branches. They're very flexible, so they'll catch a rope and just bend. So even with 2 and a bit pounds piece of steel on it, it'll still hang up a little bit.
I used to use actually it was like an 1.5-inch diameter nut, stainless steel nut. And I found that tends to wrap itself around branches.
Yeah.
I went to the arbor weight, that shot filled bag. I don't get that anymore.
Yeah.
It seems to it doesn't do that. It doesn't, for whatever reason, it does not wrap itself around branches.
I'm probably going to pick up an arborist weight just because a lot of people see a chunk of steel and they get a little nervous.
I've been hit by the arborist weight. It feels a lot better than the 1.5-inch diameter stainless steel nut.
Yeah. So my original throw weight was actually 2, I want to say 1.25 inch nuts in a tennis ball. They might have been 2 7/8 nuts. I don't remember. But it was a couple pretty good sized grade A nuts inside of a tennis ball. That was my original throw weight.
Okay. All right.
So
the ball should soften it a little bit.
It did. And it made it easier to throw overhand or sling it. So
as much as I've used the weights, I've never gotten one stuck. I've never got one wrapped around a branch. They just seem to work pretty well. And I've tried 3 different weights. I started with the heaviest, which I think 16 ounces, which is too heavy. And I've gone down as little as 10, and I think my favorite is about 12.
Okay, I'll have to remember that when I'm picking one up.
I don't even know what mine weighs. What I did is I went to Walmart and I found the heaviest fishing sinkers that I could find and bought like 3 or 4 packs of them. And I took and I stuffed them down in a little leather pouch that came with a lapel mic, stuffed them down in there, sealed them up, and that's my throw bag.
Yeah, that's about the same thing you buy when you get it. It's just a bag with steel shot in it or whatever's in it. Yeah.
But yeah, it's I've gotten a weight stuck once or twice and had to use my extendable pole with a hook on the end to get it out. And the only time we really had a problem is actually not with the weight. It's when my cohort gets a little too aggressive pulling the wire back out of the tree and yanks it and it spins out a little bit and wraps itself around the tree.
Oh yeah.
If you pull it nice and smoothly,
yes,
it'll just drop from one tree to the next. But when you give it a yank, it'll spool out, right, and it'll wrap. So we actually have to go back. This didn't happen on Saturday, but a week before, we actually have to go back and get about 8 feet of 18 gauge out of a tree that got stuck.
Yeah.
Please copy no tangle line from Kyle.
Yeah. You want to buy good line too. That line just glides through the branches. I mean, I guess the guys that climb trees and cut them down for a living, they probably research this a lot more than we have.
I think. Yeah, because that's definitely what Kyle does.
I've always used 550.
Kyle definitely climbs trees, I'm sure.
Yeah, try with a piece.
Isn't that what all leprechauns do, James?
No,
climb trees and bake cookies.
That is true though. He probably cuts off the top half of them. That way the rainbow gets the perfect arch.
Yeah.
But the rainbow ends in a junkyard, believe it or not, where his Bitcoin is hid.
I don't mind a junkyard's a fine place for a rainbow to end. There's all kinds of good things to find in a junkyard.
Oh yeah.
And Kyle, I'm giving you crap, but I'm probably only like an inch taller than you, buddy.
So how, me being a native Canadian and now I'm a U.S. Citizen, you are native Canadian and so you're Native American back to Canada. Tell me that story.
So I was born in Southern California. I grew up in West Texas. I went to high school in Northern California. Then I went to East Texas, Dallas, after high school. I came here to Canada I was back and forth a little bit but let's just say I was here for most of 8 years, 9 years. And then I was in Louisiana for 3.5, and then Pennsylvania for 5, and now I'm back here.
Now, I got the major question here, because you've done blew my mind here. How are you not really messed up in the head? You were born in California and then went to Texas, then back to California, then back to Texas. How?
I'll give you the simple one.
Yeah.
We won't get into the long story here. I was raised in a cult, so no amount of moving is going to make me any more screwed up.
So it's nice that you were raised in a cult, because I have a little bit of experience with a cult.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but yours is a little bit more voluntary.
James, this is no lie. I had an activation yesterday. I could not get a contact if I bought one. James had a pileup. As soon as he was done activating, I had a pileup. As soon as he closed his Kool-Aid stand down, everybody came over to somebody else.
Oh, my best activation ever, I'm pretty sure, was I was spinning around looking for an open frequency, and it was the frequency was dead for a second, and then I heard James say "last call." I'm like, son of a gun! I just stepped on his frequency by accident. I hadn't said anything yet, and so he got another like 5 or 10 contacts, because last call was never last call. And then he's like, I gotta go to another park, and then he asked me if I wanted the frequency. I had people sitting around waiting for me that didn't get to work him, and then everybody came back.
So basically, you climbed up on his stage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Why not?
Okay.
And that was
wait. It wasn't people that didn't get to work for me. It was my follower protectors that will work me and stand by just in case the 7200s come over, so they can jump to defense before I even have to say a word.
I have a belief that even when you make contact with James, those people hang around.
Yes,
His
they
audience
do.
Does not get smaller.
I promise you, they do. Like, it's amazing, because like it's just absolutely crazy. Like, I'll be in a real big pileup, and there'll be a really, really weak signal that I don't even hear sometimes, and then somebody will just pop in there that's already worked me, and they're like, "You got to park the park down in there, James." I'm like, all right, cool, thanks.
Yeah. That was actually, oh man, I want to say that might have been last summer that happened, James. It was before I was semi-known as an activator. Like, I wasn't really, nobody knew who I was.
Oh, like me, I'm nobody knows.
So speaking of last summer and the card that you never got, mm-hmm. I did look it back up, mm-hmm. and it was sent. But that's beside the point. It was the wrong kilo. This is a very important card, James. This is a very important card that you should have.
Was it Chief Logan?
This was my Chief Logan kilo, my very first kilo ever. You were my kilo contact.
Well, see, that's crazy. That was early last summer. That was like right when I got into POTA.
That's museum quality right there.
Yeah, that's frameable.
I wonder if you sent that. The mail forwarding was in that switchover, and occasionally mail gets lost, because I don't have it. I swear to you, I don't. I double checked all my QSLs. I have them all in the box. I don't have one from you, or Hayden, or PTX. But you guys don't have my card either, so.
There's more cards for me.
Real quick, even though Hayden's got it going at the bottom of the screen, shout out to David KY4 GM for the 3 slices of pizza. Appreciate it, bud. But yeah, that's an important card. But all right, let's get on topic. We sort of ranted her a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit about summer activations, and because there's a lot of new POTA activators out there that's not activated in the summer yet, and maybe tell them a little bit of the difference between summer activations and things we do differently, and stuff like that. And then before we leave, I want to talk about what we're going to do this summer. But who wants to start?
I mean, you're different for summer. Oh, you mean like not wear 3 parkas and take a propane heater with me?
Right,
Yeah.
Or a snow tent?
Just one park.
Well, no. One thing I just did is I actually soaked down 3 different outfits for ticks, because ticks are just unbelievable up here this year.
Exactly. That's one thing you got to prepare for summer. You got to have tick spray on, and you got to have bug spray, especially if you're doing any type of late shift activation. Yep. You got to have it on, because they will tear you apart, especially if you're using a laptop to log and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
the mosquitoes in Michigan and Canada, James knows, the wingspan's about 6 inches. So.
Yeah, anywhere around, the closer you get to the Great Lakes, I swear the mosquitoes get bigger.
Oh, God, they're huge. They're like birds.
Is that a normal 6 inches or a guy's 6 inches? I mean,
it's a guy's 6 inches. Okay. No, they're big. And then we have those great things called black flies, which, that it's like getting with a pair of vice grips.
Yeah, I don't know why they call a group of crows a murder. They should call a group of black flies a murder.
Yeah,
like they're absolutely horrid.
Oh, they're terrible. They're terrible.
When you walk, you learn to breathe carefully through your nose and breathe out through your mouth through your lips, so you don't suck any in.
James, you don't know anything about black flies down there, do you?
I've dealt with them before, but not here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not as bad down here.
You also may want to look into some deer repellent for your coax cable. That's important for summertime.
Does it work for moose?
That's fine, isn't it?
So, if a moose could move that fast, I would have been scared.
Moose can move pretty darn quick, man.
Yeah, if I seen a moose running at me that fast, I would have. I was kind of just dumbfounded. I'll go ahead and tell the story here. I know I've told it, but some people may not have heard it yet. So I was doing an activation the other day, over the weekend, and I see like a blur coming at me out of the corner of my eye, and I look, and there's a deer just running full tilt, and it's running toward me, which is weird because that doesn't normally happen. But something spooked this deer evidently, and it runs right by the picnic table where I'm sitting at, and it catches my coax cable. And it was all I could do to drop the mic out of my hand and reach for the radio, because the radio was going. And I stopped the radio, and it pulled the coax sort of a little out of the back, which I have a quick connector. So that would have been bad if I didn't have a quick connector. It just slides on and off. And I want to talk about that in just a second too. But it totally just destroyed the coax. I don't know what it did to the inside of it, but that thing would not give me any kind of nothing back. So the day of activation was done all because a deer decided to go crazy. But I do want to talk about these connectors because I've been preaching about them, and I don't want people to think that I don't know what I'm talking about. The one that I have on the back of my radio is really good, and I don't know where to get it from. I bought several of these at Hamvention, and these are not the same brand because they don't fit as snug. And this brand here, you will get a high SWR every now and then to start running up. I won't be using these. So just in case you do buy these, know that there is different brands, and you're at your own risk buying them, because the one on the back of my radio works great, but these here, I wouldn't give nothing for them now, because I did try them the other day.
The other thing you need for activating is I do a lot of game land, is headgear, head nets. Put a head net on, otherwise you'll be swatting flies constantly, flies and mosquitoes.
Well, now with my bug spray that I use, I don't have that issue.
What do you use? Let us in.
I mean, I don't know. It's in my car, but it's just some crap from Walmart. But they don't bother my. I mean, they'll get out here like a little way from me, and I'll see them in my vision, but they won't get like right up in my face.
Oh, that's just because your glasses don't work.
That's probably true.
I've used Ben's 100% DEET, which is I guess the product that the mosquitoes don't like. But then I read the bottle and it's like it destroys your liver. I guess I'll stop using that.
Yeah, well, I believe I'd stop using that too.
Yeah, I like the warning labels on that stuff that I bought to soak my clothes in. It's almost like they're warning you that this will kill you. If it gets on your skin, it will kill you. And I'm putting it on my
Lyme disease from a tick, though.
I guess so. Yeah.
Kind of
So
like
they say soak your clothes and then let them dry for like 3 or 4 days.
But I typically, I know the stuff you're using, and I have used that before, but I typically just use a store-bought tick spray, and I spray it really, really good, and I don't seem to have an issue. Maybe you guys have different crazy bugs than I have.
Yeah, and it's funny because they'll tell you, oh, you had a real good hard winter, the ticks will be bad. Yeah, right. That's a farmer's tale. That's not true.
It's not a tale I ever heard on the farm.
Another thing you want to consider with summer activation, and I always have mine with me because it's good to have in the winter as well in case it starts raining or anything. But I like to take a quick, easy pop up to go over top of me because you don't want the sun beating down on your radio or your laptop or anything like that because your radio will get hot extremely quick and it will cause issues. So I know there's places that you can activate in the shade, but you might start in the shade on that picnic table and then 10 minutes later that sun is beating right down on your radio. So
yeah, I activated a couple weeks ago with my 818 and it had to have been about 85, 90 degrees when I went to pick it up. And it wasn't because I was operating hard. It was because the sun was hitting that black case.
Yeah,
it was sizzling hot. I could have cooked an egg.
Yeah. I've had my laptop shut.
Rainstorms too.
I've been in my vehicle before and the sun be shining in on the back of my laptop and I've had my laptop shut off before it got so hot.
Thermal protection is a great thing.
Yeah. It's funny because every now and then I'll be in my vehicle on a really hot day or something because I'm trying to hurry and not set up, like I'm doing the road. And it's funny because I'm surprised that I don't get all kinds of like cops and everything in the world rushing my vehicle because I pull in and I've got everything is blacked out with like blankets and everything. Like, what is this vagrant doing in the park?
I got one for you. So for the last 2 weeks, my daughter tagged a deer with she went deer hunting with her brand new car. Literally, like the day after she made her first payment. So what does Dad do? Okay, take my car. The only other thing I have to drive is my RV. So on my way home, I'll stop at a game land or something like that and climb out of my RV. It seems like every single time I got a cop come slowly pulling up. You can't camp here. I'm not camping. I'm just doing an activation for about an hour or so, and I'll be leaving. Everybody thinks I'm a vagrant. Everybody thinks I'm going to camp at a game land.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm from West Virginia, so I'm surprised they don't think I'm cooking meth in there. So, well, luckily they're like, "Oh, that's the guy with the giant fishing pole. He's cool. He's not cooking meth. He's talking to aliens."
Yeah, there you go. Talking to aliens.
I got my my new hat embroidered, and one of the things they can do is that classic green man head, the alien head. And I was so tempted to get that embroidered on the side of the hat.
That would look good.
So, yeah. But that green man only works in lime green, and that wouldn't have worked with my OD green hat. So
if you want to have a lot of fun, come down here in West Virginia, and I think it's in September, and go activate the state park up there in Point Pleasant during the Mothman Festival.
The what festival?
The Mothman Festival.
Oh, that just happened, didn't it?
No. It's not till fall.
Oh, okay.
then when people come and ask you questions, you can tell them you're trying to contact the Mothman. and there's trust me, there are some people that will believe it. Yeah. But it's a fun place to activate, though. I like activating there.
I'm gonna have to activate more in West Virginia. I've only done Harper's Ferry. I jumped over the river, activated Harper's Ferry, jumped back across the river, did Harper's Ferry on the other side.
And you didn't even hit the Appalachian Trail, which was right there.
Oh no, I totally messed up on that one. I could have actually moved a couple hundred yards and been on the AP.
Me too.
Yeah. But I did that in Virginia as well. I missed the AP. Was it Virginia? Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. Fortunately, my wife caught it in another state. She's like, if we go closer to the entrance of this one, the Appalachian Trail runs through the front. I'm like, okay, let's find the front parking lot then.
Yeah, so I did a 6-hour trip and did like 9 parks up in that area that day when I was trying to knock out all the West Virginia parks. And, again, that was before I went into my hardcore planning stages of roving. That's probably why I do it. And, I get back and the next week I'm sort of looking what parks I got left. And I'm scrolling down through there and I was like, fuck, the Appalachian Trail. It comes right through Harper's Ferry. But there's no pin there because it's in another state.
Yeah.
And I just so I have to take another 6-hour trip right back up there.
I want to, after I realized that, I made note of, I have a list somewhere of the different parks that the AP goes through in all the states. So when I go to those states, I want to try to hit the AP in all the states it goes through. I want to do the same thing for the Pacific Crest Trail as well. And as I'm doing Canada, I also want to do that for the Great Canadian Trail, is hit it in every province that it's somewhere, right? So just a little extra, those little bonus things you can do on your own that isn't going to get me an award or anything special, but
that'd be cool though. Very cool. Yeah. How many does it go through all the provinces?
Every single one.
All the way to Newfoundland?
Oh yeah, all the way from Newfoundland, BC. It goes up to Nunavut.
Okay.
Now part of it to connect to Newfoundland, obviously, there is a sea portion. You have to cross.
On the ferry?
Well, no, there's no ferry. It's assumed that if you're going to do it, you're doing it hardcore.
Oh, okay.
Or you wait till it freezes and you walk across. But we're talking hundreds and hundreds of kilometers stretch. We're not talking a little crossing.
Gotcha.
So yeah, but there is, in fact, the park I want to activate in Nunavut is actually the terminus for the Great Canadian Trail there. So it's a twofer. And it's also an island on the air.
So another thing that I have done this year, which I was racking my brain last year, like, what do I got to do to stay cooler? Is I went and bought I meant to get it out of the car before I came in here today, but I went and bought a little fan. It's, a little portable fan from Walmart, and I have run power pole connectors to it, and I'm running it off power poles while I'm doing my activations. And just a little bit of cool breeze blowing on you does some wonders sometimes when you're out there when it's really hot.
James, it sounds like he wants to be comfortable when he's activating.
I do like to be comfortable when I'm activating. I could be the guy that's sitting in his air conditioning car, but but it sucks because I do that all winter when it's freezing cold. So
yeah,
I don't.
Let's not start with the freezing cold. You don't know what freezing cold is.
Oh, here we go again.
Yeah, you don't know what freezing cold is. You don't know what it is when you go out to collapse your expandable antenna and it won't collapse.
Excuse me?
Freezing cold is 32 degrees, isn't it? That's freezing cold.
No, that's
try let's see, let me convert to Fahrenheit. Try minus 28 Fahrenheit and be doing activation on the lake with frozen sand pelting you.
And so you know what it's like to have your collapsible antenna won't collapse.
Mine broke.
Yeah,
my 12-foot spider beam is broken.
No, I haven't had one broke, but I have had mine not collapse before. And that was only at 7 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh,
man. But
heat wave.
It was in like 6 or 7 inches of snow as well.
Yeah, I found out those telescopic fiberglass poles are not made for Canada.
Well, the trick is once you use them, you got to bring them inside and dry them off.
You got to dry.
I was taking it all apart, cleaning it, drying it.
Yeah.
But like I had it up for 2 hours, and it took me 2 days to get it to. I got it down enough to get it in the back of my truck.
Right.
Like in the bed caddy corner. But like it was in multiple pieces. I'd like shove it out the bottom because I had 2 and 3 sections that weren't coming apart. Several of them, so I had to like disassemble them. So I had like a bundle in my hand of chunks that wouldn't come apart.
Yeah.
So I brought them inside and put them on a moving blanket. I didn't care about getting a little bit of moisture in and let them warm up slowly.
Luckily, mine was only the top section, and I just sort of left it out for like, I didn't want to say a month. And then I was taking it down one day, and it was really windy. And as I was taking it down, like 2 or 3 sections at the top actually fell. You know how they do sometimes?
Oh yeah.
Well, when it fell and hit the bottom, that very top piece just loosened up and fell with it. And I was like, yes.
Yeah. That's why I went. I in the wintertime I use my Chameleon Light, which has got that 17-foot width. But that freezes up too. So towards the middle of winter, I bought the one that's more like a tent pole, Chameleon that's like a tent pole, and that one comes apart fairly easy, even if it's frozen. So that seems to work pretty well. But how did we get on to winter as we're supposed to be talking about summer?
I don't know.
For us, winter's a month away, but
you guys were saying that I didn't know something about cold or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Apparently, it's always winter in Canada.
You're trying to hijack the show with winter.
I'm sorry.
You dang Northerners.
Well, it's because James will agree. We only have 3 seasons. Well, we have 4 seasons, but I think the 4th season is like the 3rd week of July.
Warm, cold, and colder.
Yeah, exactly. We have a summer. It's 3rd week of July.
About that.
So that you got to excuse them. They're north of the wall.
Yeah.
They're out there with the what are the creatures called north of the wall?
Wildlings or something.
Yeah, the wildlings in them. That's where they come from. So you have to
look at Mike's face. Of course, he's a wildling. I trimmed mine off, so I look respectable now.
No, I stopped that. I don't have any weddings to go to anyway, so I don't trim it. I only trim for weddings.
I did because I kept waking up with my chain caught in my beard and like ganking.
Oh yeah, I hear you. So I stopped wearing a chain.
No, that I've had this chain on for 20 years. It ain't going anywhere. Reed, Are you at that park? Is that what you're saying?
He's telling you the number of the Mothman Park is what he's telling you.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Hayden, somebody's asking you a question. You're muted. You're muted, bud. Hit the mute button. Big red button. It says boom on it.
He's living in
camp. Let me apologize. Hold on. Let me apologize because I have weak internet. So everybody's blipping around. No, my wife did not kick me out, Evan. I'm on a week-long guys trip, and we're out here having some fun in the woods. So I'm in my mobile radio shack right now in the back of the truck here. And that's what I do for winter.
Listen, it's okay. We're all friends here, Hayden. We can tell the truth. Hayden is really on a secret cult mission. He's picking up some essential things for the Kool-Aid that everybody will soon taste. So it's all good. Everybody leave Hayden alone. He knows what he's doing. Special herbs. Terry,
test them right now.
Terry, Kilo 8 Golf Quebec is in the chat. Terry's already tried a sample, and but besides a few issues with farm animals, Terry is fine.
All right.
Yeah, you definitely have a following. That's for sure. Oh my Lord.
Yeah. All right. So what about you, Hayden? Anything special you do for summertime activations?
Well, summer, I come out of the truck. This is pretty much my winter setup, but I've got a table here and I set that up out in the field. I use last summer I used the Wolf River coil primarily, and I had the tripod, set that up in the field, and the ground radials. Over the winter, I mounted that to my truck and used the truck as a radial, and then just set off to the side of the truck. But this summer, I'm going to be doing probably a lot more portable operations out in parks that are a little harder to get to with the truck. Maybe what was the park? What was the last park you did in West Virginia?
Lost River.
The name escapes me. Lost River. Yeah, I want to go to the top of there and do an activation.
Beautiful, beautiful view.
Yeah, but just in the summer, I'm set up out in the grass with a fold-up chair and a table, and I usually have an awning on over top of me in case it rains, and have fun.
That sounds like comfort.
Yeah.
Yeah, I the only thing I take with me is it's in the bag. It's usually radio related. There's no mats. There's no cover, no chair, no nothing. You go to my QRZ page, you'll see what my conditions are.
Yeah, but you like to go light on the equipment to begin with.
Oh yeah, everything.
It doesn't take much for 1/10 of a watt. I mean, take a couple spare 9-volt batteries. You're good to go for a week.
Hey, I've actually considered that radio from that guy in Germany. Was it a
DL2 man?
Yeah, DL2 man. Yeah.
I'm going to get one and try it out. I've just got to do it.
Jason says go ahead and buy the one that's already built from AliExpress. Don't bother with the kit one. Just go ahead and get one that's built. He had a lot less problems with that one.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but a bunch of the local guys are building or have built the True SDX. Is that what's called?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
That's what it is.
Okay. Yeah. So THR's got one of those, and a couple of the other local guys have it. But I would shame him into QROing. I ain't got time for this QRP shit.
Oh, come on. You got no patience?
I did QRP.
Yeah, QRP
for my first
rocks.
15
There you go.
license.
He made contact with me today.
I have nothing against QRP except that I work 9 to 5. So when I can get out to activate,
that's the thing.
I'm getting contacts.
If I'm not going on a rove, if I'm going to sit in one park all day long, I have no problem QRPing. The problem with that is if I sit in one park all day long, my email blows up, my text blows up, my messages blow up. Like, dude, we've done worked you at this park. What are you doing?
I'd be like, James, did you break down? Are you okay? You need help?
Yeah. Do I need to send you an Uber?
Yeah, really.
Hey, that is a good idea. If anybody wants to Uber me to Washington State in October, I'm down.
Oh wow! I hit Mount Rainier today.
The problem is I'm going to be back from Washington State by then. I'm going out to Oregon to see my dad here in about a month and a bit, and I'll be going. Of course, I'm not going to leave any state untouched, so I'm going to activate them all. So, and my sister's in Idaho, so I have an excuse to go through Washington.
I'm going to be doing North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, and Montana later part this year, August, September.
We might cross paths because I'll be heading back probably August.
Really? Late August we're going.
Oh, late August. I might come back and just miss you. But that would be interesting. That three of the four of us here on the stream might be hitting some of those states back to back to back.
That would be cool. Cool.
Mine will be in October if I get to go.
James says I have to take a big boy radio.
Yes, he has.
Yeah.
Unless the other James takes care of Montana for me. If he takes care
of course I will, because I'm gonna sit there on chat with you and go, "Can you hear me yet?"
I'm calling you.
So Curtis, are you in the chat? If you're in the chat, can you get on SDR and tell me when James can hear me? Because everybody knows that Curtis cheats in POTA, and I sit at home and run SDR for him.
Hey, I'm hoping. I'm not sure exactly what day we're leaving yet. We're supposed to pick up the new trailer on Friday, actually. But I've got to do a dry run camp locally and do some modifications to it. I'm pulling the beds out of the back and putting a desk in so I can work, but also it'll be a shack in the trailer. So I'll mount the DX10 in the back of the trailer, and I'll still have the 991 in the truck. And I want to hit as many parks as we can up to my wife's tolerance level.
Yeah, that's me too.
So she's pretty into it. She's made good use of the POTA page. And of course we're trying to do it so that we hook up. James and I hook up on the way over. We want to activate together. So she's like, has he activated this park in Ohio? I said, I don't know. Let me check.
So I'm gonna tell the story about Curtis, because Curtis is not a full member of the cult yet because he's not a team player. So everybody knows that, I received death threats from the 7200 crew, and they were supposed to be at Hamvention to choke me out with coax cable. And all
they probably were. They probably wouldn't show their faces.
Well, I mean, I wore coax cable and everything for them. I tried to make it easy, but I wait all weekend for them to come say something to me. And, I'm pumped up for this. I want to hear it, face to face. I want this keyboard warrior to say something to me. And they do nothing. But yet they come at Curtis and tell Curtis that he's cheating in POTA, that he can't really get remember that many contacts, that he has somebody working SDR at home and telling him who the contacts are and everything. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. But,
there's a pot of gold at the end for the guy that wins. Really? Come on, guys. It's not even bragging rights. Well, James thinks it is.
Listen, you're not truly popular until you have as many people hate you as love you.
Oh yes. You got to have haters.
So I'm working on both sides of the fence. That's why I went back to 80 meters since 40's not been working well. If you'll notice, I've hit 80 meters up quite a bit the last couple of days. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been miserable out there. It really has.
All week, man. Like,
I'm glad Saturday was good, because that would have been really, really rough if the bands had been bad on Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday
sounded good. Saturday, you guys.
Saturday was good, and it started acting up a little Sunday, and then Monday was horrible. Tuesday was horrible. Today was horrible. So.
Well, Sunday I ignored the radio and partook of another hobby of mine.
Oh, tell us.
Well, I did 68 kilometers on the motorcycle.
Oh, nice. I gave up that hobby.
Yeah, my buddy's got the bike, so I don't have to bother buying one. So he's like, "Come on, we gotta go riding. We haven't gone riding yet." I'm like, oh, okay, but I'm not going trail riding yet. Like, you gotta break me in softly. I'm an old guy. So we just jumped on the bikes and went for a nice cruise on the back roads. We actually went by a couple of spots we activated on. This is a different buddy. A couple of spots I activated on Saturday with Tom. Pat and I rode by on the bikes. I was like, oh, hi, bye.
James, look at your beard. Look at my beard. Just go back to that comment. You said you're old.
Okay. Yeah, I'm actually the youngest one on the stream, so I was actually insulting all three of you by calling myself old.
Oh,
because he's older, and you're older, so
Yeah, we're really old.
Yeah. Hey,
I'm getting there.
Yeah, we know Hayden was only born in '82. He's young. He's still a whippersnapper.
82.
No, I'm 74.
So, hey, when you guys operate normally, not the Rove that you guys just did this weekend, but what do you operate with as far as wattage during normal operation?
50. We tend to keep it at 50.
Okay.
Now, if we're trying to work David, Hotel India 8, Delta Lima, we'll kick it up to bust into a pileup. We want to work him, but we tend to stick around 50.
Okay.
What's it going to get you 50 to 100? Like, for most time, but most time that isn't going to make that much of a difference.
Nothing will get you from 50 to 100, but 83 watts. We'll get
83
you,
watts is
we'll
like
get you
golden.
everything. It's
That's a magic
liquid
number
gold.
now.
It's liquid gold.
It's the tuner number. I mean, that number has been scientifically proven.
As a matter of fact, because I slayed the 7200 by cutting off the lion's head, I now have the right to reserve 83 watts as my wattage frequency. So everybody needs to stay off 83 watts, or else I'm going to jam you.
Well, sorry, I've already touched it.
Yeah, and you don't get activations until I get off QRT. You done
Yeah,
said
I
it.
know. Nobody can activate when James is on. We got it. We got to wait. We got to wait our turn till the Ultra Boy comes down.
Listen, I don't like. I don't understand that, man. That as many hunters as out there, I don't understand how y'all's not getting contacts when I'm on.
Because they want to hear they want to hear everybody else coming in after them, so they hang out and listen to you. They listen to the whole sermon until you're done with your sermon. Then they leave.
I have no problem getting contacts when James is on. He's
see.
So I have, just out of curiosity, James, what's your biggest activation QSO count wise? Like even if it's a before and after late shift.
I'd have to look.
Like set up, work them. What's that number for you?
Would you had like 250s, 3 250s, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I had like 3 250s in a row, but it's over 350.
Yeah. See,
but now wait. I don't sit in the park hours at a time either.
No, you usually don't. Yeah.
I
was just curious, but one of the reasons I'm asking is one of the parks here just got added in March.
Uh-huh.
And so Tom, of course, he's retired, B3THR. It's like 8 or 9 minutes from his house. And so he just started going up and working it. He was the no activator, and he just started working it. So it got added to his kilo row. Well, I had 0 contacts at it. So I'm looking at going, I'm going to have to kick ass to catch up to him so I can get a kilo there at the same time. So I did. And so there was a couple evenings after work, I went out and did 278 and then 190, because I went Tuesday and did a before and after, and then I went Thursday and did a before and after, and we did 2 and then I got some on the weekend. I actually turned in a log that was 700 contacts in 3 activations.
Nice. Last week was pretty brutal. It was good. It was good. That's what he was talking about. Last week, 3 days straight, it was 250 plus.
Yeah.
Every night, and I'm like, my goodness.
And I know the guys out west are just gonna like shoot me. Like spear me with DS commanders and whatnot, but sometimes working 250 is boring.
It's not boring. Here's
okay,
the thing.
boring. Yeah, you're right. Okay, boring's probably the wrong word.
Non-challenging.
Yeah. It's too easy. Now out west, when I'm traveling, I hope I'm going to have more of a challenge to get 30 or 40, and then it'll be back to.
That's the main reason. That's the main reason I use QRP. It's a challenge. I mean, somebody comes across, like today. When I got those 3 distant contacts, I was happy. If I would have walked away with just those 3, I would have been happy. I got 30 something, but Spain, Mount Rainier, and the Keys, I was good. I was done
on QRP. That's wow.
On 5 watts.
Yeah, that's a thing of beauty.
Yeah, I was happy. I was really happy.
I won't say 250 is boring. It's just I seem to hit the 250 marks when I've done activated like 5 parks that day, and it's at the end of the day, and all of a sudden like they just keep coming and coming, and like I'm like my voice has gone.
Yeah,
it's like shot, and I'm like, all right, last call, 30 people. Last call, 50 people. Come on.
Yeah, I've actually had that happen a couple of times where I get on a work call. I have one at 9:30 every morning, and they've actually asked me, "Are you okay? You lose your voice?" I can't tell them I was out talking on the radio half the night and got home at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
dude,
I can break 100 people when I go out and activate it like 11 o'clock at night. I can break 100 people.
Yeah.
705. WAJES was that? No, I'm sorry.
Kilo Yankee 4 Golf Mike.
Yeah, 705 presently. I see 705 or the 818. FT 818.
Whiskey 8 Juliet Echo Sierra. Are you saying you had 6 days at the same park for 467 contacts? That's really sweet.
Yeah,
sweet.
He 63 park to parks, and I'm going to say that probably 7 of those was to me. It seemed like he was getting me left and right, man.
Depends when it was. He might have worked me at that 3-fer.
Good stuff. All right, so you're going out west. You're going out west. Both of you guys are going to activate with me when you go out. No, you're not. You're not going out west when you activate with me. You're going to Kentucky, and where else?
Me?
Kentucky, and we're going to Kentucky for a week and a half, and then the other half of the week is like we're going to roam. We don't know where we're going. We like doing that. We have no problem parking in a Walmart parking lot or a Cracker Barrel or wherever. We have no pride when we camp. We'll camp anywhere.
So yeah, so both of these guys are going to be activating with me this summer for sure because he's activating with me this Sunday more than likely.
I'm gonna have to have a few drinks when you and I activate because my head can't handle that many contacts, and
I'll bring Kool-Aid. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I'll bring Kool-Aid.
As long as you bring vodka to put in it.
I'll bring Kool-Aid, and his new QRP. It won't be a 705 no more. It'll be like it'll be a bow fang.
I can only assume we're not operating with my radio. We're operating with your radio.
Why? I thought QRP was a stuff.
Oh, well, it is, but it'll be a slow dance. It won't be no 250 contacts, I can guarantee. Well, I don't know, because the magnet will be, the preacher will be on my radio. So, yeah, it could happen.
All right, James, I'm going to put this at you. You got to try going solid QRP and see what kind of numbers you can get.
Let's do it. 5 watts. Let's see what we can get. Let's see what we can get.
5 watts. 5 watts. 5 watts this Sunday. What's your most you've ever got on an activation on 5 watts?
60 something.
All right. I need 100 followers this Sunday to get me on 5 watts.
All come to the altar. James will be on the radio. All come to the altar.
Oh man, yeah.
Well, now here's the thing though. We will be using an ICOM, so you know.
Well, that's just you got to work a little harder for it.
I'm gonna have to drink a lot of Dr. Pepper to raise my DB up.
It'll happen, trust me. Once they see you up on the QRZ, not the QRZ page, the POTA page, the spot page, they'll come. They'll come in droves.
So if you don't get me on the while I'm 5 watts, you got to drive to the park and get me on handheld so we can have 100 in the log.
I tell you what, we'll have a backup plan. We'll start off on QRP, and if it don't happen, then we'll go to 83 watts.
Don't tell them that. Don't wait.
Oh damn it! No, they'll try hard.
83 watts. What it is, it puts like an energy out.
It's an aura.
When you make a contact with me on 83 watts, like you get this feeling good about yourself, like you lived in your mom's basement for 42 years and now you're rich and live in a mansion because you contacted me on 83 watts.
I triple dog dare you. That's from a great movie.
He's triple dog daring me to do 5 watt. Now I've done a 1 watt activation, y'all. Come on.
You've not done 1/10 of a watt to Simcoe.
I don't have a radio that'll do 1/10 of a watt.
Yeah, I only have one. Only one of my radios will do that.
Yeah. Yeah, you did that with Tom, didn't you?
Tom and you. Yeah, Tom and you.
Oh yeah, it was me. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple times.
You've done 1/10 of a watt to me too.
Yeah, James is further. James is 330-ish miles. You guys are about 260 60 miles or so, which still is an
Yeah.
accomplishment.
Now, to be fair, you did it one time with Tom, and he did QRP back with you. I've never QRP'd both ways with you.
That is true. He kept pumping down his wattage.
Yeah. He had the KX3, I think.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm not that hardcore.
I ordered one of those. They told me I'd see it sometime before I die.
All right, so
Kyle, I got pretty dang close one time.
on QRP.
No, that's not even.
So
I got 30. I think it was 33 states in one activation. 33 or 30. I'd have to go check my log, but I think that's the best I've done. But I've thought about that. Would that be possible? I'm thinking if I'm in the Midwest, like or even say Colorado or Iowa or somewhere that isn't way out east like I am now, I might try that.
If somebody from Hawaii contacts me while I'm on 5 watts this Sunday, I will give you an Eagle One antenna.
Yeah, you might want to. You can save that money because you're not gonna. That's not gonna happen.
It has to be a Hawaii park to park with me this Sunday while I'm on 5 watts.
Oh, talk about stacking the deck.
Pete says on 7,200.
Yeah, on 7.
Well, let's just add to it. Then it's going to have to be at 2,100 UTC then.
Yeah. It would have. Listen, it's not a challenge to activate on 7,200 unless you go head to head when they want to be there.
It's got to be around 7 p.m.
I noticed I started a trend, and a lot of people like, I activated on 7,200 at 7 this morning. Okay.
So what?
They're still at their doctor getting fingers up there.
They're doing 80 meters in real life.
Oh man,
you gotta do it right at time. When it's time to go.
When they're all at their doctor visit.
So
or they're
when
at
you guys are activating a
shop.
park, make sure you set separately and do QRP to each other.
Well, we done decided that when we activate, we're going to do it like separate activations. Like I'm going to activate so many calls, and he's going to activate so many. We're not going to pass the mic because he don't want to pass the mic.
Yeah, that's that to me as a hunter. That's difficult. I mean, I know there's certain occasions and stuff like that. Like when you did with that family with the 2 kids and the dad, that was kind of cool.
So what's going to happen is on his activation, everybody's going to be like, "Hey, can we talk to James?"
Nope.
You
need to do it based on time, not contact numbers.
Okay, that's fine.
10 minutes on, 10 minutes off, or something, right?
Yeah, but we'll both switch back and forth, so everybody will have time to work with both.
Yeah,
Me and Mike did that K8MRD, and that did happen to him. Demetrius from Long Island CW Club. He wanted to talk to me during my.
Now, for me, if Tom and I were to change our style instead of passing the mic, and we were to switch back and forth like that, I think what I would do is if it's a park to park, work all the available operators for the park to park so they can move on.
Yeah. Well, that's something. Even when you're switching on and off, if it's a park to park, both operators got to jump in and take it because that park to park don't have time to come back later.
Correct.
Get the other operator. Yeah, you got to do it that way.
And Terry, I'll be counting on when that happens. I'm hoping I have enough followers that maybe some people will pitch in to help me because that's going to cost about $3,000 minimum.
To do what?
Go to Nunavut.
Oh yeah, Nunavut. Yeah,
it's 15. The flight is $1,500 a person. They charge extra for gear, and nothing up there is cheap. Room and board is not cheap. So even if I eat PB&Js and mac and cheese, it'd be like going out for steak every day. So and when I do that, I plan to go for long enough to get like a kilo up there because I'll never go back.
There's one operator up there that he's hunted me twice.
In Nunavut?
Nunavut, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, twice. He's hunted
Okay.
me, and I made contact with him on QRP twice.
In
Nice.
Nunavut. You're sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
I know there's one in Northwest Territories.
No. This guy is God, I can't remember his name now.
Okay.
He used to be the owner of the only store in that town.
Okay.
And he lives like about 4 or 5 miles outside of town. And he operates every day. It's just got to be, all the stars have got to be aligned for me to hit him or for him to hit me.
Yeah, like significantly aligned.
Yeah, and I'll have to be honest, it might have been on 10 watts. I've been known to go high power.
All right,
Yeah, you worked me a couple times at 10 watts, and I
Kenny,
feel dirty whenever I put that in the notes.
Dirty.
every time he works me on 10 watts, I immediately wash my hands with sanitizer. Like horrible.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can go find him. Hang on.
Yeah, here's the bad thing, okay? Because like he tries to push my buttons. Like he won't give his call sign when he calls me. He'll only say QRP or he'll say Kilo Echo 8, blah blah blah. Because he tries, but there's another QRP activator that has a very similar tone to him, and I have to really listen when they go QRP. But it's funny because that guy hasn't caught on that when I really pay attention, that I'll just call his call sign when he says QRP now, because I get that tone, and it's Kilo 2 Yankee India Yankee.
Yep.
They sound similar, don't they, when they say QRP, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, you guys all sound similar to me on the radio. So.
All right, really quick, we got to wrap this up. Hayden, major plans for this summer?
Oh, well, we are going to do a island activation. There's a small island in the Chesapeake Bay called Hart Miller Island. And a buddy of mine are planning on kayaking out to it. It's probably about a 1.5 mile, 2 mile kayak trip, and we're going to be doing that this summer.
What month, do you know?
Not yet, but I'll let you know.
Let me know in advance. I might go. All right, James.
Okay.
Beside your long trip, anything?
Well, July 2nd is my pod anniversary, and I plan to do something epic. It's going to have to be bigger than 14 part kilos. So I'm not entirely sure what, but maybe it'll be like 10 atnos in a day. Because I've got a whole pile of them not too far from me.
I'm coming to Canada.
Bring it on, man.
Enough of this crap.
They got good beer and good cheese.
Good cheese.
Curds.
Well, cheese curds, yeah.
Yeah, curds.
All right. PP man, are you going to be PPing a lot this summer? What's going on?
Oh yeah, that's my mainstay. That's my mainstay. Otherwise, the few times that I'm going to activate just so you can hear me from out west, I'll be. Well, I don't know about PP. I'll be QRP. I mean, I like testing the testing the equipment and testing the signal and playing with 1/10 of a watt. But let me tell you, that's tough. That's tough. Trying to break a pile up on 1/10 of a watt is doesn't happen on 1 or 2 calls. It's more like 10 or 15. So that's very challenging. Very challenging. 5 watts is like really the sweet spot. That's where it's really fun. It's still difficult, but it's fun.
All right. For me, of course, I've got Summer Field Day coming up in a couple weeks. I got the Support Your Parks weekend coming up in July. I'm going to Delaware in either July or August to do all of Delaware in a week. And other than that, I'm going to try to schedule some meet and greets at random states. The only one that I know for sure is I'm going to Jordan Lake in North Carolina. That's definitely a scheduled one that I'm going to do. Other than that, I'm not sure where the rest of them's going to be. So if you want me to stop by, you better start buttering me up. Anyway, and of course, in October, if all goes well, I'm going to try to go to Washington There's still a lot of stuff that's got to come into play for that to happen. But I think it'll be a great trip, and we'll get. I think that will start like 13 new states for me. So that'll have it. Other than that, thanks everybody for coming on. All the Patreons. The after chat is in the Patreon page and the Patreon chat on Discord. Hayden, if you don't care, send it to Toby. And other than that, thanks for coming by. Thanks for everybody who donated.
Hayden, send it to me also, Hayden.
You're already here. Hush.
Oh.
You're not going nowhere. You can't go nowhere.
I can't go nowhere.
All right, 73 everybody, and we'll catch you next week.
See you.
73 everybody.